Constitution. Today, our topic of discussion is basic features of our Constitution. Main merits, elements, quality of our Constitution. Questions come in the examination based on this topic. Explain 5 main features, key features of our Constitution. Point wise you will have to write. Here I am discussing it. I explain it elaborately, but you have to write answer in precise, in short, in meaningful sentence. Here you have to understand the fact, because I am not saying the answer of the question. I am discussing the main points from which many types of question can be raised, and our teaching is not only related with question answer. My motto is to provide you sufficient knowledge, information about our basic features of Constitution. Now, first is unique Constitution. Our Constitution is peculiar, quite different to others, because Indian Constitution is the combination of the best features of several constitutions. What does it mean? Our constitution makers, before making Constitution, has gone through many constitutions of many countries, and whatever the best feature of the constitutions were there, these were modified, rectified, and it was adopted because these were suitable. All the qualities, all the features of several constitutions were not adopted. Only those qualities, those features were adopted which was suitable for Indians. So, this is the selection of best features of many constitution, and it make our constitution unique, quite different to other constitution. Have you understood? Combination of the best features of several constitution. For example, as we know, in our system, in our government cabinet system is there. We have studied about preamble. There is the system of Lok Sabha Speaker, post of Lok Sabha Speaker. All these features are adopted, taken from the British Constitution. Federal system merits the existence of Supreme Court, post of President. These systems were taken, borrowed from the Constitution of USA. Apart from it, there are some many other qualities, other features in our system. For example, a written constitution, head of the state, that is called president. The term state is used for the province. Rajya Sabha, that is the representative body of the state. All these systems are taken, borrowed from the American Constitution. You know, there is the directive principles of state policy, fundamental rights, all these are from Russian Constitution. So, in short, you have to learn our Constitution has uniqueness, peculiarity. It is quite different to others because it is the combination of best features of many constitutions of the world. Those features were adopted, those features were taken, borrowed from others that were suitable, that are suitable to our needs and conditions. Right? Next is called the lengthiest constitution. It is said, no any constitution is in the world which have so many rules and regulations or articles like the Indian Constitution. It is lengthiest, largest. Indian Constitution have 395 articles, 22 parts and 12 schedules. About 2 years, 11 months and 18 days were taken or consumed to complete the Constitution. And this Constitution was compiled in many bulky volumes, many books. So it is called the lengthiest Constitution. How many articles are there in our Constitution? 395. Thanks. How many parts are there? 22 parts. And how many schedules are there? 12. Now, how many years were taken to complete it? 2 years. How many months? 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. So this type of question can be asked as the 1 mark question. So be very prompt in this regard. Actually, this lengthiest constitution was adopted or completed on November 26, 1949, but it was adopted or enforced, implemented on January 26, 1950. And it is why 26 January is celebrated as Republic Day, right? Why? Because on the very day our constitution was implemented, which declared India a republic state. What do you mean by republic state? Republic state, republic means a government where the head of the government is elected. Republic state is a state where the head of the government is elected. Right? This is called republic. Now next is a written constitution. As you know, our constitution is completely written, is in black and white. It is a phrase which means in written form. Right? It was drafted and enacted by the Constituent Assembly, about which you have already studied in previous online class. It was an assembly of the indirectly elected representatives of Indians who were allowed to write constitution for free India. This Constituent Assembly was presided over by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and the rules were drafted by the chairman of drafting committee, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar, B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar or Baba Sahab Bhim Rao Ambedkar. Right? Here it is written because no one can be cheated. There is no chance of misguidance by the power holder to the people, because everything is written clear cut. Clearly it is written. So this is the third feature of our constitution, that it is in written form. Now next feature is rigid and flexible. Rigid means very tough. Flexible means that can be changeable. Changeable. These two terms are related in regard to the amendment procedure. Amendment to reform, to bring reform in the constitution. Recently you have seen some changes was made, reform amendment was brought in relation to the Article 370, right? So now here rigid and flexible. Our constitution is flexible and rigid both in terms of amendment. Here flexible means easy to amend, easy to bring some change, can be added something or remove something. Flexible constitution is considered progressive, helpful to the development to the nation, because if once the constitution is written, it must be to some extent changeable also, because in coming years, if any change will be required, and if the constitution fails to accept this change, naturally the constitution will be out of date, right? It will be odd, it will be meaningless. That is why to bring such change, flexibility is maintained. And now second term is rigid. If any government want to bring hasty change, very fast change, it is also not good. So constitution is also amendment of constitution is made very rigid. There are some rules and regulations which cannot be changed very easily. That is called a rigidity. That is why our constitution is called rigid. Rigid means cannot be amended easily. It is done to check fast change. And both features are essential for modification and to make our constitution up to date. So this is the fourth features of our constitution. So how will you write? The one of the feature of our constitution is its rigidity and flexibility. Some changes amendment can be brought easily because our constitution is flexible. No hasty change can be brought because our constitution is rigid. I mean, very fast change cannot be brought to misuse our constitution. And these both qualities are very helpful, essential for us to make our constitution a living document or up-to-date constitution, right? One thing that I have not given the place in a slide, but I am discussing, and next term is about the procedure of amendment of Indian Constitution, right? Amendment of Indian Constitution. Here just now you have listened, our constitution is rigid and flexible. I mean, some changes can be brought easily and some cannot be brought easily. Actually, it is related with our process to bring change or amendment. And these are three types of process to bring amendment in our constitution. One is by simple majority. In these categories or under this process, certain provisions of the constitution can be easily changed by passing the amendment bill by simple majority. Here simple majority means bill should be approved or accepted by the majority of the members present and voting in both the houses of the parliament. What does it mean? To bring amendment, first of all, proposal is kept in the parliament and it should be approved, accepted by the majority of the members present. I mean, the members who are present in the parliament during this period, I mean during the amendment procedure, their majority should be in favor of the bill and voting in both the houses of the parliament. I mean, it should be passed with the majority. Second type of process is called by special majority. Here you see the simple, you have seen simple majority, and now you are seeing here, reading here special majority. Special majority means the absolute majority of total membership and 2/3 majority of members present and voting. Both of the provisions of our constitution are amended by this method. And third procedure is special majority and ratification. After the bill is passed by the special majority in both the houses of parliament, it is very necessary to approved by the legislature at least half of the total number of state, I mean MLAs also. In the second form, in the second type of procedure by special majority, in that case, the approval of the state legislature is not required. While in special majority, the bill should not be passed only both the houses of the parliament, but it should also be passed by the state legislatures. So these are the three processes of amendment. Now, let me to discuss other features. Sovereignty and secularism nature. Now, so in this way, sovereignty and secularism nature. Here nature, I have given it term nature. Actually, by nature, our constitution is sovereign and secular. Here, first of all, you know, our constitution was not written under any compulsion. It was not dictated by any other countries, and not any single group of Indians were there to pressurize them to write. They were free to write it. Now, and our constitution gives a sovereign government to our country. Better it will be to understand the meaning of sovereignty and sovereign. Sovereignty is a power that is not controlled or that is not guided or dictated by outer forces as well as the internal forces. What does it mean? Our government, who has the sovereignty, because no any other government, no any other country can dictate our country to do the work, and not any inside forces of our country can pressurize the government to take decision, because our government has sovereignty, has the supreme power. Sovereign means one who has supreme power. Sovereignty means supreme power. तो supreme power कौन है? जिसके ऊपर कोई पावर ना हो, जो किसी के द्वारा गाइडेड नहीं हो, इंस्ट्रक्टेड नहीं हो, जिसमें किसी का इंटरफेरेंस नहीं हो. That is called sovereignty. I hope that you have understood the term sovereignty. And other is called secularism. Secularism is a concept, is an idea according to which there is no special place of any religion in the country, right? There is no special place of any particular religion in the country. First, it means there is no any special place or state religion, right? Three things you have to learn, minimum 3 or 4 things about secularism. First, secularism is an idea in which minimum 4 features are there. 4 things are included. 4 qualities are included. First, there is, or all religions have the equal place, have the equal place. All religions have the equal place in the eye of law. First. Second, there is no state religion. I mean, there is no any special religion of a state of our country. Right? Third is what? No discrimination on the ground of religion. I mean, no any special religion followers are given any special facilities on behalf of the government. If Hindus are in majority, if there is the majority of Hindus and there are other minority group, it does not mean that Hindus are given more privileges, more preferences on the name of religion. All religions have the equal place. There is no discrimination, no differences is maintained on the name of or on the ground of the religion. And fourth one is what? Our country or the constitution or secularism, in secularism, people are free to follow any religions. No people can be pressurized, forced to follow any certain religion. Have you understood? So, this is the quality, this is the meaning or feature of secularism. Once again, I am telling you, secularism is a concept according to which all religions have the equal place or are equal in the eye of laws. There is no state religion, right? Here you should understand what is state religion. What will happen? What happens when a state declare any religion a state religion? State religion means a religion that is accepted by the state as the special religion. If there will be any state religion, it is mandatory, it is compulsory to follow the same religion by all the people of the state. Right? If suppose India declares or Indian government declares that Hinduism is the state religion, then all the citizens of India, I mean all the religious people, all the religious group people must have to follow the same religion, Hinduism. So India has not declared any religion as the state religion because according to our constitution, everyone is entitled to follow or enjoy the equality in terms of religion. That is why it is called secularism or secular. Now, at last you see, I have written, you are looking at, and I hope that you will be able to read this line. Our constitution declares India a secular state as it has all the above mentioned features. Suppose I am asking a question to you. How can you say that India is a secular state? Right? Yes, you will have to say India is, question is, how India is a secular state. It means you will have to say, yes, you are speaking well, no doubt. You have to say India is called a secular state because all the features of secularism are here. Those are as follows. All religions have the equal values, I mean in the eye of law. There is no state religion. There is no discrimination on the ground of the religion. And people are free to follow any religion. That is why India is a sovereign, right? And thank you, Abhinav Ranjan. That is the same meaning that people have right to freedom of religion. Now, according to which all people are free. Last feature you see, people are free to follow any religion. So in this way, this is called secularism, and in this way, India is a secular state. तो in this way you have learned sovereignty के बारे में भी आपको पता है. Makes India a sovereign secular state. What is the secular state? Just I have explained. Again, I am going to explain or repeat. First, sovereignty. Now, Indian constitution makes India a sovereign secular state. Sovereign means supreme power that is free from internal as well as external force. It does not allow to anyone dictate or interfere to the government activities. So in this way, now again one has asked the question, what do you mean by secularism or secular state? A secular state is a state where all religions have the equal place in the eye of law. There is no discrimination on the name of or on the ground of religion. It means the people or the followers of all religions have the same right to avail the facilities given by the government. Next, there is no state religion. I mean, there is no special religion in secularism, and people are free to follow any religion. Right? Next, now we have some, 7 or 8 minutes we have. Actually, this time is reserved for chatting with the student or discussion. So next episode will be given. Now you are requested to upload.